Hey everyone, Ron from Fallout Hobbies here. How's everyone doing this Thursday? Hope you're alright. Today I'm going to be putting a few micro LEDs in on Mortarion. So I'm going to be working on this guy for the next hour. As always, Jules is here.
Hey guys, what's up?
It's a dreary, very dreary Thursday where we're at. Kind of the tail end of the tropical storms getting up here.
It's been kind of that way like all week, I think.
It's the tropical storms. We're getting like the very last end of the arms of the storms up here. We might have to make all the Halloween festivities inside if it continues.
So which lighting kit are you going to be using today?
Well, I'm using the green micro LED kit, and I'm putting a couple. I built up the main part of Mortarion here, and I'm doing a lot of modifications to this figure because some of the detail I feel is a little bit excessive.
Jonathan Rystam is just joining us, and he's asking what figure that is. It's a Mortarion, it's new.
It's not that new. It's like a year old now. It's the Death Guard guy.
Yeah.
The Death Guard Primarch. It's this guy. But there's a lot of details that I'm changing with the way that I'm building it. For one, I might be a little bit of a heretic for saying this, but I actually really don't like Nurglings. I don't know. I think they're kind of cheesy. So that being said, I'm probably going to remove some of the Nurglings. Maybe not all, but some of them. I also think his scythe is a bit overdone. So I'm going to 3D design and print my own replacement scythe head here. And I'm going to make a replacement face. And then some of the armor panels, I'm going to kind of simplify and tone them down a little bit because I want a little bit more open space on the armor panels to do some cool painting effects. So it's a little bit of a long project.
Are you going to be showing the progression over multiple live streams like you've done in the past, or?
At least two.
Okay.
Yeah, this one and at least one more. Maybe a third one, I don't know. It's going to be kind of a bigger figure. Like I said, I got the body together now. I'm going to figure out how to put a couple green micro LEDs into him. And then by next week, I'll have the replacement head and scythe printed for him. And then some scenic base stuff. So I got to get this box out of here. Are you okay if I put this box right here?
Yeah, go for it. Christopher Rogers is checking in. He says, howdy from a generator-powered southern Louisiana.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Man.
That sucks. Yeah, we're all the way up here. We're getting like the tail end of everything. So.
But just like lots of rain. We're not.
It's just lots of rain. Yeah. For us.
Hope y'all are staying safe down there.
So this LED, there's a lot of open space in the back here with Mortarion. So I'm kind of gonna like try to fit some of the LEDs like in behind him here to create this, you know, unnatural glow. If you can see that on the camera, something like that, which I think will look pretty neat when it's all said and done. But I need to kind of hide the wiring too. That's not actually that hard in this particular instance because I can snake the wires up the inside of the of the cloak here, because this is where it, right here is where it hits the ground, the base I mean. So I can like snake the wires up the cloak a little bit. And then kind of bury it in a little bit more. I might need to actually extend the wires with a little bit more.
Christopher is saying that shop is probably going to be down for a day or so, but yeah, we're safe. Looking forward to seeing and rewatching how you're planning to light him up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we usually, we're here every week without fail on Thursdays.
Okay, I got some copper wire here. I might need to extend some of these leads with copper wire. I'll get to that in a minute. I definitely am going to have one wire coming out of the head. That's for sure. So that one's just going to kind of float until I'm done with the replacement head. And I'm definitely going to have one LED kind of midway down the back here to light that up.
Christopher also says, to be honest with him, you could probably also hide the wires in muck and nastiness, though it might look out of place.
Yeah, well, there's always so much detail. I'm actually trying to simplify some of the detail because, I don't know, I just kind of want a little bit more open space on him. Like a little bit of area where I could do some more painting. So I'm not doing the big icon that's on the shoulder. I'm probably not doing the knee icon and just kind of resculpting that a little bit smoother. I'm removing some of the nurglings. I'm removing some of the like smoke effect and stuff because I actually, or maybe I might keep that. I'm not sure on that one yet. But I'm just simplifying a lot of stuff because GW tends to just kind of like fill up negative space with like useless detail. So sometimes you lose like the angles of the figure, like the core lines. I used to, when I built Space Marines back in the day, I'd actually shave off some of the extra skulls and everything on them because I thought it was like a little bit overkill on it. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm trying to kind of like restructure him a little bit so he doesn't look like every other Mortarion figure out there, basically.
Put your own spin on it.
Put my own spin on it. I might not even use the wings that comes with it. I don't know yet. He's got these really big ass wings, but I kind of like before in the Horus Heresy books, the way they described Mortarion, they never showed him with the wings in any of the art books from like back in the day. And I, for some reason, always had this vision of him having like mangled, feathered vulture wings. Like vulture wings that have like rotting skin and like rotting feathers coming off of it.
Cass Caswell says, hey guys, congratulations on becoming GW stockist.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we're super excited. I've been busily adding a lot of products to the store, and I'm not even anywhere near done. We were going to try to launch them in the newsletter this Saturday. I'm not sure if that is going to happen. I'm going to be working very hard on that today and tomorrow.
We do have new products that we are adding though this week.
We do? Oh, right, yeah.
The decals, we're because of a new print process that we have in place that is 100% Jules doing, we'll be able to offer more color options on some things. So I've been reworking some of the product lines to have those options.
Like the Chaos Stars in red and
Chaos, yeah, like things like Chaos Stars and Elven Tribal and stuff like that, and options like red and yellow and things like that. So
I actually made our print room very, very zen. I did some redecorating.
now here's the real question with this pistol that he has. Do I want to put the LED... I kind of want to show the fact that it's got this cool grilling here that's on the side and see if there's any way I could, you know, get the lighting like in there to show off that grilling. I could slice off this bottom thing here and put an LED there, and that would probably effectively light up the underside of the grill, which would look pretty cool. And then what I could do is drill straight line right through there so it pops out the back of the wrist. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I need to find my drill, because I just had it. Oh, it's literally on the table. Here we go. First things first, I'm going to drill a straight channel for the LED wires to go through. Now, this is going to take a really long time to do this by hand. Maybe I'll get the power drill out. But I feel like if I do that, I might accidentally drill right through some gun detail if the drill bit slips.
I love using those little drills. They're so much fun.
Yeah, there. Oh, I'm already halfway there. Okay. No big then. I bet everyone's looking forward to next week, one way or another. At least we won't be getting any more surveys asking if we're registered to vote.
I get at least one a day.
I know. I'm getting like one a day right now too. Sometimes 3 a day. It's ridiculous. It's like, I voted. I'm done.
I actually stopped. I know this sounds probably pretty bad. I had to stop watching the news because it's like the same thing every day. It's like, okay, it still sucks. There's nothing majorly that's changed, while at the same time, so much changes in a 24-hour cycle, but you get kind of numb to it. You don't even want to hear it anymore. I know that sounds terribly socially irresponsible, but...
Babe, I've been telling you to stop watching the news for like months now. Not that I'm not informed, it's just that it's a bunch of talking heads and it's too depressing.
That's why we paint the plastic.
That's why we paint the plastic, exactly. Well, in the home stretch here, I hit like there's like a cavity inside this model that's kind of weird. I hit like a hollow area inside of it, even though it's a single piece. I'm just doing it by hand this way right now because I'm at the very end. I only have like 1 millimeter left to drill through. And I don't want to
Snap it.
snap it. So I'm going very slow right now.
I've done that on the ends of guns before.
There it is. That's where it broke through. Okay. Drilling successful. Let's get these wires through there. There we go. See? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So for right here, I'm just gonna snip off this little bottom piece of it so it opens up some room for the lighting. There we go. Time to drill a hole here for the wiring. There it is. All right, so the ends of this, I kind of have to bend it flat a little bit and position it into place here. Okay. My hand's locking up. All right. And that looks cool. All right, let me put some glue to get everything in place here. All right. There we go. Shows off the grilling pretty well. It's pretty bright on the end. I'll probably put like something to kind of diminish the end of it there. I don't know. I'll work on that later, but I just really wanted to get a light on the end of that gun there. Kind of prematurely glued the arm there because I wasn't really thinking when I did that. That's okay though. It connects at the wrist So, and his arm's in a straight post. So basically I just got to drill through his arm like that to get into the hollow chest area where everything else is opened up. So this is going to be loud for a second. I'm taking my Dremel. I'm just drilling a straight line. That entered something. That entered a cavity. There we go. Gotta tighten that drill bit up a bit. Now, when you do drilling like that, you're gonna get these little like lips of plastic, like melted plastic. You just kind of gotta cut those off. GW plastic, for some reason, does that so much worse than any other plastic that I've used in model building. I think there's like a certain vinyl ratio mixed in with the styrene that affects it. Okay. Come on. Again, more plastic. It's kind of like core sampling. Plastic bits fly. Shake the loose bits out of the inside of the model. All right, well that hole is drilled out and it opens up right into, see this figure's got like a big hollow cavity right here. So the hole went right through it and into that area right there. So, you know what? That being said, the way that I'm thinking about this, if I use this see, I get this copper wiring that's called enameled wire. It's actually coated in a thin layer of plastic. So you can run this wiring side by side in thin areas and it won't short out a circuit. So what I can do is where his cloth here touches the base, I can run some enamel wiring up and then run it like kind of out the neck area here, and then I can connect all the micro LEDs to that and then kind of shove them back into the hole in the model. Let's get this guy's wires running through here. There's his wires. And then I'll need ones for the head, and then other ones for the body area, the inner area that's glowing. Let me get this one in place though. I can glue that right now actually.
Bud Livingston is checking in with us and says, looking good, Fallout.
Thank you. Is this super glue closed up?
We'll find out if your fingers are stuck together.
There we go. I did find out an interesting thing.
What's that?
So a lot of super glue companies put this like weird extra acid in their super glue that causes them to like dry out really quick, so that you have to keep buying super glue. But if you buy super glue that doesn't have that acid in it, it'll like last for like years in the bottle.
I wonder that about the caps for Citadel paint.
Oh, the caps for Citadel paint is 100% that. They want it to dry out. Because if it dries out, then people have to buy more paint.
I don't like them.
No one does. Everyone's been petitioning to get them into dropper bottles like every other hobby paint out there. So I'm just kind of fishing this wire up. You know what? It's actually probably better if I fish it down, now that I'm thinking about it. There we go. Come on. I see you. There's got to be a better way to do this. This happens every time I'm running wires in a model. And then my butterfingers don't help anything. There we go. See, big open space in the back. Let's get that around the leg. And down here. So that way we kind of follow the contours of the cloak, and once it's all painted up, you won't see it at all, really. I mean, if you want to be a little extra cautious, you could run a little bit of putty over it, a little bit of putty over the wires, but I think that putting a line of super glue and accelerator right here will cover it up pretty well. So there's a bead of super glue right now running right down the middle of those wires. If I just add a drop of accelerator, there we go. They're all sealed in. I'm just kind of bending them back in place a little bit so that they're out of the way here. There we go. There, now you don't see them at all. Nice and hidden. And of course, once I paint them and the inside's painted kind of dark colors, you really won't see them. In order to test out how well these work, I kind of have to like sand the ends a little bit, because remember I said this is enameled wire. It's not regular copper wire. Regular copper wire would short out the circuit if it was placed next to each other. This copper wire has a thin coat of plastic on it. Now when you're soldering things up here, little bit of a different story, because the actual solder and solder paste will melt the plastic coating on the wiring, so you don't really have to worry about that. It'll melt it and make the connection. Now I'm going to attach 2 more LEDs to this strand, but one's going to be fished back into here like that to light up the back area, and then the other one's just kind of going to be floating freely because I don't have the head done yet. So I'm just pre-wiring the light before I install the head. So I'm going to give it a little bit of slack with the wires here and make sure there's enough space to move things around. Any questions, comments so far?
No, but I think the last person commented was Bud Livingston saying Stope.
Cool. All right. So these are all fused together. I'm just snipping the extras off here. I'm going to break out the solder. There's the ancient soldering flux. Plug in the soldering gun. Just grab a tube of solder. I had that right here. Here we go. Soldering is not hard at all. You just got to kind of follow a couple safety precautions, like don't let the hot soldering iron touch anything that it could set on fire. And you got to use soldering paste. So this stuff I've had forever, like literally forever. I think since I was a teenager. That's how far it goes. I've had it for like 20 years or more. And you put the soldering paste on where you want the connections to be, because the paste kind of like, it wraps around the wires, and when you heat up the metal of the solder, it travels along the path of the paste. So this bundle of wires that I've connected all these micro LEDs to, if I coat them in the soldering paste, the flux, and then heat up the solder, it'll just melt away the flux and replace the flux with liquid metal. And that should thoroughly melt away the enamel coating that's on the copper wires over here. Also the enamel coating that's on the copper wires of these. If you want to scrape the wires before you do the soldering, you can, but I don't really find it necessary, because when I do this, it, you know, seems to be a pretty thorough job. Hold on, I gotta get closer to this. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Okay. That should be good. Should be. There we go. Everything's working. Gotta scrape these a little bit more at the end though. There it is. So all the lights work. Great. The reason they're flickering is because I'm not holding the battery right. But yeah, there it is. So there's the light for the gun, one light for the head, and one light for the body. Always unplug your soldering iron. Don't burn your house down, please. I'm just going to put it on that until it cools down. And then the final step for this wiring job here is you got to seal up these ends, because if these ends touch each other inside the model, you're going to short stuff out. So I have this stuff. It's a liquid electrical tape. You can get it at any hardware store. I just like to brush a little coat onto that and seal it all up. You're going to want to give that a little bit of time to dry before you touch it, because otherwise it's going to kind of get nasty. But yeah, that is pretty much it. It's real simple to install wiring. You just kind of got to think about it for a minute beforehand. Think about like where the wires are going to go, how to drill the channels, stuff like that. So when this figure is resting on the base like this, these wires will be drilled through to the bottom, the underside of the base. And then on the underside, I'll be installing a battery clip, but that's not till the end really, because I gotta build the rest of the figure, build the base, run the wires, and then I can install it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to be stopping this video in a minute, because I really can't do much more at this point until this stuff's dry. And then I want to 3D print the head replacement piece that I'm going to make for him.
Is that what we're going to show next week, is continuation?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, more continuation on this guy next week. I'm going to start painting the armor. And what I want to do is I want to do like a cracked rust effect using the
Magma?
yeah, but the small one.
Ah.
The probably like the infantry size reptile one. Because I could paint the armor like orange rust colors and then put the stencil over it and then spray it green. And it'll look like the paint's like flaking.
Oh, cool.
Like around the edge of the armor. So I'm going to do that. And by the time I get to that point next week, I'll have the rest of the cloak built out. And I'll have these wires hidden inside the body. And then we'll be able to move on to that stuff there. So he's going to have stencils and lighting. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to cut the video there for today because that's kind of all I can do at this point. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next Thursday at 1 o'clock. See? Lights. Yay. All right, have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.